What's going on, you guys? Justin, aka Boomer, Beer League Bum Hockey Reviews. It's been a while. Mostly been taking a little bit of the last month to kind of just do a little bit of self-reflection and see where I'm going to take this channel. Got a few ideas, new videos coming, etc. But really, I wanted to leave the influencers alone today, and just talk about kind of my plans for 2023 in terms of what gear I'm going to be purchasing personally and what I'm going to review and, what I'm most looking forward to. For the releases kind of coming in the next 3 to 5 months, and then some of the other videos and stuff that we're doing. But we're going to leave the influencers alone and just do a positive video about excitement of what's coming up. Oh, whoops, better change this out. Be right back. All right, guys, we're going to start with 3 that probably are lesser known, but we'll start with the first one, and that is the Agent R. It has already been leaked a little bit. We've got some Nexus codes going around that are pro stock sticks that are actually boron Nexus mid-kick. Discussing with somebody that I know in the industry, it sounds like those are pretty weak prototypes. That's not what the stick's going to be like. So the Agent R, my guess is going to be still in that 40-gram range. They might even push it, who knows, and it's a mid-kicker, and it's coming in October. Now, the 2 that people might not know about that I do now is Warrior's releasing a skate. We do not have a timeline yet. I only have the basic information that Warrior is releasing a skate, and it's coming, and it should be very interesting. So keep your eye out for that. I will definitely pick up Warrior skates. They'll probably be super bananas in how they look, which will just be awesome. I love Warrior's graphics on stuff. It's just out there. And then finally, CCM is releasing a stick that is rumored to be called the Ghost, and I'm guessing it's an Agent competitor. We have no other information. I just know about it through the grapevine because people have had to order it already in the stores, etc., to prepare for its launch, but we don't have much info. So we got Warrior Skate, Agent R, and CCM's Ghost Stick. Those are 3 that I'll start with that not too much information is out there. All right, we're going to start with the big guns here, the thing that I'm most excited about that I'll probably be buying day of launch as soon as I can get it. And that, of course, is going to be the LX2 Pro. For those who watch my channel for some time now, know that the LX Pro is my top-rated stick still and has not been dethroned in almost a year and 3 months since I did I think it was November of 2021, the video on the LX Pro. So the LX Pro, I'll throw some highlights up there just because I got one. They're really hard to find in BC, Canada, especially in like specific flex, P28, 75 flex. It's just as amazing as I remember. It's still my top rated stick. So I am so stoked for the LX2 Pro because I'm hoping that it will dethrone this by just being a little bit lighter, because this is a great stick. It's actually really light, but I'm hoping that's just a little tiny bit lighter for my wrist and just increases the grip a little bit. The grip was terrible on this, and hopefully we get just a little bit more, improvement in shot power and stuff like that. So the LX2 Pro is the thing that I am the most stoked about for this reason. This stick still rocks though. Look at these highlights. I just love this thing.
I'm probably most stoked for the LX2 because you can slap shot with it. It has insane release. It's nice and light. Feels great in the hands, nice shape, kind of concave walls. But the biggest thing is every time somebody finally picks up an LX Pro, they realize just how good this stick really is. And I always get constant DMs and messages about how it's just like a game changer. So I'm really hoping that Warrior doesn't change anything too much other than just kind of tweaking it a little bit for weight, grip, and maybe finding another way to get even better release and better shot power. The odds of that happening are probably pretty low. The stick is probably one of the best releases in quite some time, so it's going to be hard to argue that. But, they've had basically almost 2 years since the LX Pro's release, so I'm hoping that they've really tweaked it and, found just that kind of next level. So that's kind of why I'm the most stoked for it. So this is the one stick along with the next one that I'm the most stoked about picking up, no matter if it's $400 or not. All right, a couple more highlights, and then let's hit the next piece of gear. All right, JetSpeed FT6 Pro. It's been a while since I've actually used a JetSpeed as my actual gamer. The FT5 was a great stick, a little bit more durable, but the weight being about 400 grams, depending on how much you cut and all that, I just kind of preferred to go with a lighter stick in the 380 grams, when I've cut it, just for my wrist. But the FT6 I'm super stoked for because I'm hoping that they kind of find that FT3, FT4 shot power release magic and still find that durability of the FT5. The FT3 and FT4 were like a next level step in the direction of shot power, but my God, those sticks were terrible durability and basically had manufacturing defects in their design. They were really high recoil, high compression, so they broke very, very quickly. So I'm hoping that the FT6 kind of has a leap and bound in terms of new tech and just new results. But if it doesn't, then CCM might be kind of missing the boat with the hybrid, the last two releases. So let's see kind of what happens. But I'm stoked for this stick too.
Right, hockey tutorship. Are you going to need me today? I heard you're not making fun of the influences. Nah, man, I'm good. I'm trying to avoid that in this video today. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. Stop making fun of us, okay? Okay. Catalyst 9X3. So True's last two releases, the Catalyst 9X and the Hazardous PX, were both really terrible sticks. The Catalyst 9X actually had durability manufacturing issues. I broke two of them. One, the original one from my review almost a year ago, and then the warranty stick broke almost instantly as well. So it actually had some manufacturing durability issues. So terrible stick. The Hazardous PX had tons of problems, durability issues, laminate coming off the blade, no grip. The paint was smeared. The thing you could not slap shot with. It was okay for wrist shots, but just not a versatile stick at all. I got a lot of heat for my Hazardous PX review, but a lot of people also are picking up that stick and then DMing me and agreeing. So at the end of the day, it's really not a great stick either. But in terms of the 9X3, the new Catalyst mid-kick, there isn't a lot of mid-kick sticks on the market anymore. And I'm kind of hoping that this is kind of True's kind of reload into the market with the new mid-kick. And I'm hoping that it's better than the Warrior Novium, which although was great for slappers, also had some slight, issues with it in terms of stiffness and just the load, things like that. So it wasn't a great stick. So I'm kind of hoping that the Catalyst 9X3 is more of that mid-kick like the AS4 Pro, and we have a true mid-kick. Because right now the ASV Pro is really an odd mid-kick. It's still a nice stick. It feels great. It's just not what you would call a true mid-kick in terms of full power. So here's hoping. I'm going to pick it up and give it a go. Let's hope True has fixed the durability issues, and it's a true mid-kicker that shoots extra, extra hard on slappers and snapshots. Hyper 2 light? Too light hyper? Light hype 2 hype? Hyperlite 2 stick. Now, I'm going to give you guys a small preview. Both the Hyperlite 2 stick and Hyperlite you might see sooner than later. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind that these might be right around the corner. Hyper 2 light stick, held it recently. Very, very light. Not as light as, of course, the Boron Agent, but I'm pretty stoked for it because the original Hyperlite wasn't great. The Boron Agent kind of pushed where the Hyperlite should have been, and I'm hoping that the Hyperlite 2, whatever you want to call it, kind of has that, nice in between, not as crazy light as the Agent, much better than the Hyperlite, and just with the improved composite, we get back on the better train for Bauer. So let's see, but stay tuned. Those might be released sooner than you think. ASV or AS6, I guess. I was going to say VI or whatever the heck the logo says, but it's the AS6 Pro. We have the Trigger 8 Pro, and then I just talked about the FT6 Pro. So we actually have those leaked already, and they're coming out pretty late in the summer or in kind of fall, late summer in a couple different instances. I think the Trigger will be the first one to come out with the FT6 kind of in June, I think, or something, and then the Trigger pretty much right after. So we'll be hitting up those as well, and I'm pretty stoked for the CCM sticks because the last gens were actually quite good, but I feel like they still need a slight tweak in terms of weight. They kind of were in the last generation, they were in that like 375 range, pretty undurable. Then they swung all the way back and went to like 400 grams full length, and then kind of claimed in the marketing that it was like 375. Yeah, if you cut off like 3 inches or something to a standard 60-inch stick. So I'm hoping the weight kind of dials back a little bit. Let's hope. Let's talk skates. Last year in my preview video, I talked about getting the Mach and the ASV Pro, and I ended up only getting the Mach, and I ended up switching back to my Hyperlites actually because it just fit my game better, and the Mach I just couldn't really settle into no matter how comfy that skate was. This year, I do want to try the FT6 Pro and the new Hyperlite 2, but the problem with skates is that when I went to get the ASV Pro and I actually put my foot in it, there was like areas within the skate that just was not going to work. I had pressure points. I felt the inside of my foot had like a little bump and stuff in it, so it just wasn't going to work. So I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work out where I end up getting the FT6 Pro and the Hyperlite, but I really want to try 2 new pairs of skates this year and actually try both of them. And then I can compare them both instead of just kind of going with the Hyperlite, as I know that that works for me. So here's hoping that it works, but no guarantee I'll get both, but I'll definitely be trying the Hyperlite 2 for sure because I'm a Hyperlite guy. And then if the FT6 Pro feels okay, I'll probably pick those up as well. All right, protective. I get shit kicked a lot out there, so for protective is very important for me. So FT6 Pro, shins, elbows, shoulders, the whole 9 yards, pants. I'm super stoked for the FT6. I'm currently wearing the Hyperlite shoulder pads with FT4 elbow pads, and I hate the Hyperlite shoulder pads. If you watch my video, it's an absolute dumpster fire, the Hyperlite protective line. But I just didn't really feel like buying anything new because there was nothing to review. This year there's stuff coming out, of course. And I was wanting to wait so I didn't just spend money on, say, some shoulder pad that I couldn't make a video on or something. But man, do I hate the Hyperlite shoulder pads. God, they're brutal. They're just like crunched together. They don't maintain their shape anymore. They're just garbage. So I'm super looking forward. It sucks that the summer is kind of where the FT6 Pro protective is coming from, but I can't wait to try those out. It looks very similar to the FT4, but just I love the upgrade, and I loved how light the FT4 Pro stuff was, so I'm super stoked to get it back. Cannot wait to continue to get my ass beat out there in better protective gear, FT6 Pro. I couldn't get the Bauer leaked catalog to load properly, so I did not have pictures of the new Mach protective. But I'm told that that is also pretty available pretty quickly. So I'll also be picking up the Mach protective in comparison to the FT6 protective. Probably have the Mach first actually, and I really want to retire my Hyperlite shoulder pads because they're just straight hot garbage. So I'll be getting rid of those and probably go to the Mach until the FT6 stuff comes out. As well, I'm currently using an FT5 Pro and an agent stick just because those are kind of what I'm using right now, and I'm using an FT5 because I wanted to have that in the back of my mind for the FT6, which will probably be one of the first releases. You know, maybe the Hyperlite 2 first, we'll see. But I wanted to get back to that hybrid and just see how it goes. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave in the comments if you made it this far, what gear you're purchasing, what you're most excited for me to review, and if you have any other suggestions. I'm keeping the budget on this channel per year at, you know, 5 to 7 grand or so. You know, it gets expensive, so support me if you can. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And you want to see some highlights of me scoring with the new FT5 Pro that I just got? Sure, let's throw that in the end. Why not?